Hey everyone, welcome back with another session of geography. I hope you all are doing well. So today we'll continue the same chapter, that is physical features of India. Now we know that the major physiographic divisions of India are the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains and the highlands. Now in the last class we have discussed about the Himalayan mountains. So today our topic of discussion is the northern plains. Let's begin. Now the northern plains. Now northern plain has been formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, namely Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, along with all their tributaries. Now this plain is formed of alluvial soil, as you know. Now the deposition of alluvium in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. And this northern plain, it spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain being about 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad, is a densely populated physiographic division. Now, with a rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and favorable climate, it is agriculturally a productive part of India. Alright, now the rivers coming from the northern mountains are involved in depositional work. Okay. Now in the lower course, due to the gentle slope, the velocity of the river decreases, which results in the formation of riverine islands, as you can see in the picture. Now Majuli in the Brahmaputra river is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. Okay. Now next up we have, that is, these rivers in their lower course, they split into numerous channels due to the deposition of silt. Now these channels are known as distributaries. Now if you see tributaries, they join the big rivers, all the small streams and rivers, they join the big rivers, and distributaries at the mouth of the river, so in their lower course, they split into numerous channels due to the deposition of silt. Okay. So these channels are known as distributaries. Fine. Now, another important part, that is, the northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. Okay. Now the western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab plains. Now previously it used to be known as the Indus plain. Now this Punjab plain, it's formed by the river Indus and its tributaries. Now the larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. Okay. Now the Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas and the Satluj, they originate in the Himalaya. Now this section of the plain is dominated by the Doabs. Fine. Now, the Ganga plain extends between Ghaggar and the Tista rivers. Now, it's spread over the states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partly Jharkhand and West Bengal. Okay. And towards the eastern sides, particularly in Assam, lies the Brahmaputra plain. Now, if you see the Ganga plain, as it's the biggest one, largest one, so it's divided into three sections: the upper Ganga plain, the middle Ganga plain and the lower Ganga plain. Alright, so these are the different plains, these are the different sections of the northern plain. Fine. Now as we were talking about the Doabs, now what is this Doab? Now Doab is made up of two words. Do, it means two, and Ab, it means water. So basically, Doab is a term used in South Asia for the tract of land lying between two converging or confluent rivers. Alright, so these are the Doabs that we get in the Punjab plain areas. Now the word Punjab, you see guys, Punjab, it is also made up of two words. Punj, that means five, and Ab, that means water. So the Punjab word also came from these doabs, like five rivers that constitute the whole area. Okay, from there the word came Punjab. Okay, these are the things. Now next up, this, that is the northern plains, are generally described as flat land with no variation in its relief. Now it's basically not true actually. These vast plains, they also have diverse relief features. Now, according to the variations in the relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four regions. Alright, now the rivers, these four regions basically they are Babar, Tarai, Bhangar and Khaddar. Again I am repeating, Babar, Tarai, Bhangar and Khaddar. Okay, now if you see the picture here, if you see, this will explain better. So these sills, as you can see, these pebbles just after the Himalayas, this is the Babar, then next come this is the Tarai region, and then we have Bhangar, and lastly we have the Khaddar. So one by one we will discuss about them. Now children, if you see, the rivers after descending from the mountains deposit pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in width, lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivaliks. Okay, so this is known as Babar. Now all the streams disappear in this Babar belt. Okay, now next up, south of this belt, the streams and rivers re-emerge and they create a wet, swampy and marshy region, and this is known as Tarai. Okay, now this was a thickly forested region full of wildlife, but these forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to settle migrants from Pakistan after the partition took place. Okay, these are the things. Next up, this, that is the largest part of the northern plain, is formed of older alluvium, and it lies just above the floodplains of the rivers, and they presents a terrace-like feature. So this part is known as Bhangar. Okay, now it's the older alluvium of the plains, and here the soil in this region, they contains calcareous deposits. That's a chalk kind of stuff, that is limestone you can consider. So that kind of deposits and clay. So they are locally known as Kankar. They are locally known as Kankar. And this Bhangar, it's not renewable frequently, and because of it, it is less fertile. And this is when it's found away from the riverside. Okay, these are the things. Now next up, the last one that we have, that is the Khaddar. So the newer, the younger deposits of the floodplains, these are called the Khaddar. Alright, and they are renewed almost every year, and so they are much more fertile, and thus this Khaddar, this region is ideal for agriculture, intensive agriculture. Okay, these are the things. So with this we come to end this section. I hope it helped you a lot. So until the next time with some other topics, bye bye.